30 models in the house. You know, they say use your time wisely. So I gave each of them a minute. You know what I'm saying? They enjoyed it too. You know, it's enough for me to go around, baby. Don't be stingy.
What's up, YouTube? So today I'm gonna be doing a full video tour of 6 months with this truck. I bought it late October, I think 20 something. The next couple days is gonna be the 6 months of having it. So back when I bought this truck had been sitting for a while. It didn't really drive it a lot, so it needed some love. When I first got it, it was sitting on some 20s LTZs on the front. I'll throw up a picture right here. It had the DRLs. The headlights were all broken. If you recognize the bumper, I'm not sure if I ever put my extendo on YouTube, but that bumper is actually off my extendo. I had sold it to the previous owner. Same with the valence. It's off my extendo. That's why it's still blue. But that it had the HD hood. I still have it. It's just unpainted. And the thing with this truck is it has a marble paint scheme on the fenders and the hood, so I kind of wanted to keep that. And honestly, when I got this truck, it wasn't a bad looking truck. You know, it looked decent. It had clears. These I actually got. They're just some OEM ones. I bought them just so I could see at night, because I think that one was pointed down over here and that one was pointed like right in here, so I couldn't really see anything at night when I was driving it. So I just went with some OEM ones. So those fogs are actually not connected because this is a base model truck. So I had rolly windows. I had no fog lights, no electric, nothing. When I got it, it was also sitting on a 4.8. So if you look at it right now, so those are 22s in the front. I'm actually tucking in the front just a tire. It's sitting at a 6.8 approximately. So I do plan on dropping the back more, but for that I gotta get a monster notch in, just because I got some blocks already, but I need to cut all this up and then hopefully leave it at an 11, see how a 611 looks. Maybe go lower, maybe not, just because already my gas tank's already pretty low. So when I got this truck, one of the issues it had, the brake calipers were pretty damn bad. So it was mainly this wheel that would always just shake whenever I braked. And not just that, but the lower ball joint was actually, it have like about that much movement. So with that ball joint, anytime if your wheel wasn't aligned properly or if it wasn't rotated, nothing, as soon as it started shaking, the whole truck felt like it was gonna fall apart. So I had to change. I redid the whole front suspension. The only things I had left to do was the tie rod ends. I just need those. It does have a little bit of play, but to be honest, it's not horrible. One of the things I still need to do is I need to cut this. Right now I have about half an inch or so on both sides from rubbing. So if you look at that tire and you look at this tire, they're both pretty shaved off from just rubbing over and over. Look, you can see my finger doesn't even fit in there. And I did crack the paint from just trying to roll this, and I did roll it a little bit, but I mean, it's nothing. So these dubs are 22s. I painted the face of them just to see how I like them. They were originally black. I'll throw up a picture right here. But I'm probably gonna end up painting those silver on the inside and the face, redoing it, just so it could all be silver. So for the suspension, it is I think it's a 4.6 Magui's, I think, something like that is how you pronounce it, kit. With the front I swapped out the springs, and then the rear I did drop shackles, and they were actually already on there. So it was an 8. It was a 4.8. It had a pretty good lean. It looked cool, but I just didn't like the gap that it had on the front. So right now it's a 6.8 with the same kit, just different springs. So over on the rear end, it had blacked out tail lights, the C ones, and they looked cool. They suited the truck, but I'm trying to go for more flashy. It was more of a black and green type of truck before, so I'm trying to make it pop out with more chrome. The back bumper, it was in good condition. The paint was chipping and everything, but I mean, it was pretty straight. So I went ahead and bought this one. It's off 2007 to 2013 Silverado. It's an NBS bumper, and it does have the silver plastics on there, which I might end up keeping, I might not. It just depends what I end up doing with the chrome. If I leave it, I'm probably gonna paint that green, color match it. But if I color match the chrome, then I'm gonna leave the silver on there. So now we're hopping into the interior. So the tint was already done. I think it's 5%. If it's not 5, it's gonna be double 5. The back it's 5, but as you can tell, it's already turning purple. You kind of see the stickers that used to be there. And then this is a banner that I got done by Decal Depot. I did it almost to the style of a tint banner, but I made the words see through. So this truck initially was manual. Everything was manual. I went ahead and swapped it to Cadillac interior. I did the full dash, center console, door panels. I did make them electric, so the driver's side works properly. It's just the passenger side, I still need to run the cables and everything. You know, it's not perfect. I have some of the cables already ran, but I need to do the rest. I did get this sub box done. You can see the Chevy logo in there. I'm running 212s behind the seats. It's kind of hard to do it because I don't have power to the seats right now, but it's 212s. I believe they're Alpines. They hit good. You know, I have a feeling they're more of a SQ type of setup, so they're not, you can't really hear them outside, but inside sounds pretty good. So with these seats, I actually got lucky and I got them at a pick and pull. This is the worst thing that they probably have. I do have the plastic in there, but I took it off because I was looking at those switches. They ended up messing up because I had them sitting out in the rain a little bit. So this one still works, but these two don't work no more. So I have to manually go through each cable and move it over. The passenger side works fine. They are dirty, you know. I've never cleaned them since I got them. I mean, the whole truck, to be honest, is dirty. I need to get rid of that. You know, you can tell there's a lot of little details on it. You know, it's not perfect. And that's kind of one of the things where, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect yet. You know, it's a truck at the end of the day. This is from when I spilled coffee on my way to work. You know, it's static, so it's a bumpy ride. I do have the plastic trim piece that goes back here. Pretty much it'll throw all of this down, since this is a 0306 interior. So this bezel fits, you know, it has a gap right here. If I would have kept the little cigarette lighters right here, it would have been bumping into this. Same with the little tray that goes here, would have been hitting this, but I have this so you could fix this and then correct the stereo as well. So the stereo is just a random dual touchscreen. It's one of those that flip up. It always hits this, so like it's kind of annoying. But it came with the truck. You know, the speakers didn't work in this truck. I think only like 1 or 2 of them worked, and it was only like the front ones. So these don't come with tweeters. The tweeters actually come up there for the stock Escalade ones. And I'm running some DS18 horns with the horn tweeter in the middle, and then it's the normal 6.5 speaker. Over on the back side, I'm running the 6x4 Serwin Vega. I'm not sure on the RMSs on either one of them, but it sounds cool. I do need to give these a different tune, just because these are with the 6x4s or 4x6. They're tied together, so I'm maxed out on these, but not on those. Those can still take more power. But I need to throw another set of RCAs to get those to work. This is a Denali cluster. I only changed out the silver bezel to the black one, just so it could match, the whole interior. I feel like the silver would have stood out a little too much. This center console, I did already look up the schematics to try to make this work. I just need to make the actual wiring. But this is pretty much where it tells you like your fuel, your mileage, how much MPGs you're getting, all that. I don't really care for it, to be honest. But, I mean, if I can make it work, it'll look cool, more OEM. I don't know about this clock. I might just end up changing this out for a gauge, depending how the future goes with this truck. And then this, I'm probably going to throw an equalizer in here, just take up the space. But yeah, I mean, the interior is pretty much, it just needs little things. I'm not really worrying about the headliner. The headliner is pretty rough, sagging on both sides, and it's pretty dirty. But I mean, eventually I'm going to do a sunroof on it, and maybe do some speakers. If not, I'll probably do a titty panel right there in the middle, and then just wrap this whole thing tan to match this and this, the whole interior. So now going on to the part where, not a lot of people know, just because I don't really post it a lot. So this is a V6. I bought it as a V6. It's misfiring. So right now, I'll go ahead and turn it on just so you guys can hear it. So this is a V6, cylinder 6, which is the back one over there. It is misfiring, so that's why you can see the engine's a little shaky. That kind of gives it more of a chop. I don't care, to be honest. I'm just waiting for this engine to blow up. But I do have a really nasty exhaust leak right where the bend is. Right there's a leak right there, and there's another one a little further up. But eventually I am going to take those out, just so I could go lower in the back and not be scraping there. Because if you look closely, it has bent the bed right there. You can see where it's hit before. I've scraped these tons of times, but it has bent my bed. So I kind of want to straighten that out and then pull the bed back down. So another thing I do want to do is with these mirrors, I want to get these off and just put some chrome ones on. The other one's starting to do it, but this was one of the first ones that started peeling. I do want to get some Escalade door handles. So I actually got locked out of my truck. I left the keys inside, and it was either mess this one up or mess up the driver's side. When I decided to do this one had already gotten broken into with the previous owner. You could tell this was already here. Same with this. Also, I mean, I kind of bent it back, but you can still see it's popped out. I mean, the paint on this, to be honest, it's not the best. It has a bunch of clear coat spots. It looks good from a distance, but has a lot of little defects. Has a dent right there, a couple down there, but I mean, overall the body's pretty straight. So this is a repaint. It's not the stock color, even though the stock color is green. You might be able to see it right there if I could get it to focus. It does have some pearl on it, with the respray. It is more of a shiny green than what the stock one is. It has that marble thing. The roof, it was green, but they painted it black. Another thing I did get done was I got these stickers done both by Decal Depot. Another thing I did forget to mention, you could tell with the respray, this green on the cab is actually a little bit lighter than the one that's on the bed. I mean, you can't tell from a distance, only if you really pay attention. I mean, it's very subtle, but it's one of those things where you can tell. And I have thought about wrapping the whole truck, but knowing how the clear coat is kind of peeling, I don't want to make it go out early if it's not going to go out soon, But I mean, it's not perfect. It's a project truck, just like any truck, but I do have some big things for this, hopefully, if all goes good, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be having it on the 22 dubs for a cool minute. Just imagine it with a little sunroof, and then maybe a little wing later on. I might keep these same tail lights. The little rings on them are starting to go out. So on this one, I think it's faded out in the middle, and then that one I think it's just on the top, just the ones that turn on when your lights are on. The brakes work good on both of them, so I might leave them. Might do the cat eye ones. I don't know yet, or I might do all clears, to be honest. Kind of like the clear look, but I'm not sure yet. It's the least of my priorities. Another thing I forgot to mention, excuse the dirtiness of the truck, but I do have some outside speakers ran here. I got them hooked up to a tar amps, 400 by 4, 400 watt 4-channel amp. I have it on a remote switch, and those are 6.5s with tweeter as well. They are marine speakers, kickers. They're marine speakers, so they could be outside. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums up where the truck's sitting at right now. As of right now, my main goal is to get those wheels on. Hopefully the monster notch pretty soon. Drop the back. Once I have it sitting where I like, I'm gonna start doing the more actual look, and doing the paint match on the grill, the bumper. Get those mirrors swapped out. Same with the back bumper. That handle, I have another one for it. I just haven't put it on yet, so I do want to do that. And then, I mean, with the engine, it's kind of more of a thing where when it gives out is when I'm gonna do it. If that V6 lasts for years past me, cool. It lasted, it did what it did. But if it gives out tomorrow, well, then that's just an excuse to VA swap it. So I mean, with that being said, I'm pretty much wrapping up this video.